Here we go. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming, devices, content, providers. Woo, Nelly, we've got a lot to talk about. I am Clyde. Today I am joined by Michael Aston.
Howdy, y'all.
And Matthew Ross.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How are you?
Splendid.
Splendid.
Can I say exhausted?
Oh man, it's this. Even though we had Monday off, this is the longest week ever, and it's not even. It's only been 2 days.
I came home and I wanted to take a nap, but last time I did that, well, you know, so I didn't do it. I'll take a nap after the show.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know if it's just been the weather or. It's been freaking cold and rainy, and I feel like I moved to Washington.
That's funny because we got wonderful weather here. It's a beautiful day.
You got my weather.
70 degrees.
Yeah, you know, I've been living here in Minnesota for almost 15 years, and for 15 years, people have been telling me, oh, Minnesota's got nice weather. It's been 15 years. I'm still waiting. Yeah, there have been some great days, but they're always during the week. And then once you leave work, it's crappy again. So I think in order to enjoy the weather in Minnesota, you should be unemployed. I think that's the moral of the story. But
or so filthy rich you don't need to work anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that works.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I should just start a Patreon and then let you guys, you know, those of you out there can give me money so that I don't have to work and I can stop complaining about the weather.
I think we should all just do that all the time to everybody. Just everybody, everybody,
so
everybody money.
So then that could be our the like tactic is just get them complain about the weather so much that they're just like, fine, I'll give you $1 to shut up.
Yeah, it might work. You never know.
Maybe. Well. What do we got out there that we shouldn't shut up about? What's going on this week?
Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about a specific service this week, but I think we should start with some news.
Ooh.
And this week, it looks like we got a bunch of announcements about various programs and streaming services that have updated. First, we're going to start off with DirecTV, and that they have announced that they have gone ahead and enabled Roku services on the DirecTV for the DirecTV Now service. This means that they can now have this the web, iOS, Android, Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick, and Apple TV, and of course select smart TVs. They can now stream to all of those, and you can now get a full cable package over the internet with DirecTV for starting at what is it, $35 a month?
Yeah, $35 a month.
So this is great. Now they have it on one of the most popular platforms for the streaming boxes, but gotta warn you guys, it still has one missing feature. There's no DVR.
Yeah. See, and that was the thing. I was gonna try this a while back, but they weren't anywhere where I could try it. So yeah.
I think savings is important
USA
to everyone.
To me, it's like a wonderful idea if I was scheduled to sit down and watch TV at certain times of the day. But since I can't DVR it, what is my option to pull out an old VCR and record it that way? I don't know. I don't think you can even do that with an HDMI connection anymore. So
yeah, with HDMI, you wouldn't be able to do that. You could do it. You could use some sort of capture devices, though most of those are going to cause issues
like
with the HDMI. But it can be done. But yeah, then you've got to deal with the DVRing software and everything like that. It's just not
No, it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It would be you would have to physically switch to the right channel at the right time and have it. Because like I said, so like right here, I've got the capture card going. There's Fire TV. I could, in theory, on the Roku do the same thing, set it up, and then record it just like we're recording right now. But
True.
I'm still going to have to sit here and watch it, so what's the point?
Well, we got a good suggestion here in the feed, right? Set up a cam, right?
Yeah.
That works. Put a camera on your TVs. Put a Fire TV on each TV. Set it to a different channel, and record them all. You get 4-channel DVR right there.
No, don't do it, man. It's not a good idea. Actually, I looked into the DirecTV Now, and there was something on it I didn't realize they had, which was a 72-hour rewind is what it's called. Only select channels, but of all the select channels, you can go and watch anything that's within the last 72 hours on there.
Well, so that's kind of like a DVR. You're just getting the fire hose.
It's a fire hose only last 3 days, whatever you missed, kind of DVR.
But
only
you'd have to go search for it.
And is that through? Did you say that's through DirecTV?
DirecTV, that's a feature that they had. I did not seen that before. Let me see if I can
That's not too bad. I mean, the PlayStation Vue offers a similar thing called catch up. So you can watch a show that you didn't DVR and you can watch it, but you can't fast forward through it and stuff like that. So it's as if you're watching it live, but if all you have to do is add the show and to your favorites, and then you can watch it anything from the last or anything from that time forward for up to 28 days.
Yeah.
So it's, you just add a bunch of shows. I haven't reached my limit on what shows I can do. Though, the thing about this that bugs me is, it's $35 for 60 channels, which is a little bit on the high side. It's not the highest, and you do get a lot more channels than a lot of the other packages. But if you look at what their initial offering of 100 channels for $35 was, now that costs $60.
Yep.
That is seriously cable TV prices.
That's what it is.
Admittedly, a cable TV like package, 100 channels, but it's pretty extreme, and not getting any kind of DVR functionality or any real DVR functionality is pretty egregious. And then finally, you've got to look at a service like this coming out and launching and going live when A, they don't have their DVR, and B, they don't even have support for the major devices. I mean, I feel like DirecTV, AT&T, they really shot themselves in the foot by releasing this way before it was ready. They should have waited. I mean, they've talked about having a DVR service. So this is something that is likely to come. However, that's assuming it even survives long enough for it to come out, because they released without the key functionality, which is being available on all of the key devices. And they didn't have to have Android and Chromecast support. They needed Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV. And then they didn't have the DVR. By not doing that, they really shot themselves in the foot. And it's just, I don't know that they're going to make it. No, I mean, they may not go away because they're backed by AT&T, but
it could be a lost leader.
I mean, I mean, they were already behind the curve when they launched with all the technical difficulties. I don't know anybody personally that has had anything good to say about it, which is part of the reason I wanted to try it. And and like you mentioned, there was that deal through AT&T, which is now expired, so that $35 deal was gone. Also, there was that deal they talked about a couple weeks ago for AT&T Unlimited subscribers.
That's still there.
That's still there, but you have to be on the right unlimited. Right. I'm on the wrong unlimited plan, so it's like, oh nope, not me. So
yeah. Well, the other thing. The thing that they did that was a good move was offering the free devices that they supported. So you could get, and I had 2 friends take advantage of that, but they have both since canceled. So they had a certain contractual obligation that they had to do. They immediately canceled at the end of their obligation. So it didn't buy them users. It bought them people taking advantage of the free device and trying out the service a little bit, but effectively what they ended up paying was basically the price of the device, because you had to keep it for like 3 months or something like that. And so they basically paid for the device and then got to try DirecTV free. So
exactly.
So, but here's the thing. Remember, now that they've gotten over this hump, they've gotten over the problems of launching issue. They've gotten all the major devices now working and available to them. The only thing they're missing is that DVR functionality. You get all the other benefits of having a streaming service. That means that you can stream while you're on the road. That means you can go and stream on your phone. That means you don't have to be in your house or use whatever device you have. You can have another TV, you throw a cheap Chromecast on it or something like that, you can use it. You don't have to rewire your house.
Yep.
So you get all the benefits of that, and you can cancel anytime you want, upgrade, downgrade.
All these things are true.
So this is
you get all of that from all of the other services that are better.
No, not all of them. So for example, you can't watch a lot of your shows on PlayStation Vue outside of your house. You can't get all these channels for $35 through Sling TV. You don't get the ability to use a lot of these devices on YouTube TV. So they are covering most of the bases except for a big glaring hole.
There's a niche
which is called the DVR. They hit the DVR, and other than the fact that their pricing model and their pricing just basically is a cable plan, they've got everything. So they're this close, guys. They're this close. Now the question is, how good is the DVR going to be?
Yeah.
Is it going to be unlimited for a certain amount of time or a certain number of hours? Is it going to cost more? We'll see. But actually, I think DirecTV has got a good plan. It makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. This is what people are used to. So I think that they actually will do very well. But nobody wants to sit down and wait for their show or sit down appointment television anymore. Nobody does.
The longer they take to get the things that people want, the less people there will be to recruit. So. Oh,
what?
Strength says you can't watch any of them outside of the Northern Hemisphere. Sorry, Mr. Australia.
Oh, man. Oh.
But I mean, why would you want to watch this? You've got like koala bears and kangaroos and like deadly spiders.
I was going to say all the snakes and spiders.
Yeah, I mean
I'm too terrified to do anything.
Don't have time to watch you don't have time to watch North American TV because you're too busy trying to fight them off and try not to die, right?
With a sharp stick.
All right. Well, let's get rid of that and let's move on to the next thing.
All right, we have another one of the services that have decided to add more devices today. Today we got Hulu, who added to their beta TV service now the ability to use the Fire TV Stick and Fire TV Box. Hulu had a bunch of the different boxes as well, just like the Apple TV, Android, and iOS, and Chromecast. But with this, they've again covered the market another market where they can fill in those places. So this is good. Same story, slightly different tune. But again, moving up in the world.
I am excited about this. Not as excited as I would be if it was the Roku, considering I rarely use my Fire TV. But yay! I've been wanting to check this out.
Yeah, I've been interested in this as well, but I don't own a Fire TV. I don't own. I mean, at least it's got Android, so I could do it on that. So I don't know.
Wait, is it on the Android TV?
It says Android.
I don't know that'll just be the Android phone. Yeah.
Now that's ambiguous.
No, if it doesn't specify TV, then it's just Android phone.
Okay.
Which there shouldn't be any difference. It just means that their developer didn't bother to put in the 2 lines of code to allow the remote to work.
Right. Yeah. They'll figure it out, I'm sure.
So Mike, you use your Fire TV pretty regularly. So, I mean, how is this appealing to you, the new Hulu?
I might check it out. So, yeah, I mean, any solution that is a valid, viable competitor to to something like PlayStation View and stuff, yeah, maybe. But honestly, I'm pretty leery about even what I have now, so I'm probably not even going to look at it until we come to challenge time where we give it a try. So they'll probably get a month out of me when we decide to give it a 1 month shot. But that's probably it.
So it's got to have the channels we want, and I think they were missing some channels, if I can remember. Is that right?
Potentially.
I cannot remember. There's so many. It's so hard to remember now. Jeez,
yeah, if
guys.
only we had a tool that like kept track of what has what.
Well, that is a spreadsheet that they put on cordcuttersnews.com. So
if only we knew someone that could develop that kind of thing. But,
yeah.
All right. No. Bottom line, I'm excited. I've been wanting to try this because Hulu is my number one. So, even though I don't really care about live, I'm really interested in checking it out.
The key to me is that it looks like it has a pretty atrocious channel lineup. I mean, it's pretty sparse right now. Though really, while it's not super sparse, like while it is very sparse, it has a lot of the key things. It's got your news channels, it's got your kids shows, and it's got your sports channels, which I think is probably going to catch the vast majority of people. A lot of these other channels are kind of filler things that most people only watch on a rare occasion. So maybe that's what they're focusing on.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Speaking of channels that I can't get, I might be getting a local channel on streaming services soon. Disney says that they've been working with 160 ABC affiliates to sign up for over-the-top TV, which means that very possibly we might be getting finally a local channel up in Washington State, or two. So they've been working with these channels in order to make it so they can make one big signature of as a contract in order for them to be easily put onto the various streaming services like the PlayStation View, Google YouTube TV, and DirecTV Now. So it includes the stations that are owned by the groups: the Sinclair Broadcasting Group, Hearst Television, Tenga, and EW Scripps. Now, my local stations, the ABC affiliates, are by the Sinclair Broadcast Group, so it's possible I might get a local channel on something. Just like, yay! So,
this is pretty cool. I mean, Disney owns a lot of channels and has a lot of affiliates throughout the country. So to be able to get a group contract deal like that, that's really cool. It means that a lot of people are going to be able to get their local channels, their local affiliates, on a streaming service pretty soon. And they had a pretty wide variety of carriers too: DirecTV, PlayStation View. I mean, it's all the big ones. So
as strengths in the chat points out, are they setting up a station to just for the movie Over the Top? So is it going to be like showing over a channel that shows Over the Top 24/7?
Well, it will be on a channel all the time. This is a law of the universe, isn't it? Is it not?
Maybe. All right. I did like their choice of words when they said that they signed more than 160 stations for its clearinghouse initiative.
Right.
But, yeah.
I'm sure the affiliates loved that terminology.
Exactly. But I mean, I'm always on board for anything new. If you're gonna get something new, awesome.
Right.
If you don't use it, oh well.
All of us, everybody who wants to get their local channels on streaming, this is good, and hopefully this catches on for ABC and everybody loves it and is a big hullabaloo about how great it is. So all the other NBCs and CBSs and Fox locals out there go, oh, why aren't we doing this? Oh, we should totally do this and get this moved over. That'd be good.
Yep.
All right, we have a story about Verizon. They have announced new unlimited LTE home internet using a box called, what do they call the box? The unit is called a Smart Hub. And this new Smart Hub has various options for your home internet access, including ones that have data caps, and one that has no data cap for anywhere from $110 to $130 if you don't bundle. This means that people who can get Verizon but can't otherwise get any good broadband suddenly have a new option to get broadband at home, which means more people will start streaming. What do you guys think?
I had this before. It was through a company called Clear. And it worked okay using Sprint's network. And I had unlimited for, I think it was $30 a month.
But yes, however, with Clear, they were wasn't that still using 3G, or had they?
No, it was LTE.
4G at the time.
It was LTE. It depended on your area. My area was LTE.
Clear used the competitor against LTE, but lost, I believe. Right. They used the other technology.
Initially they did, yeah.
But
they were around a lot longer than a lot of people realize. I don't know.
Sprint. Well, it's because Sprint acquired them. Because they were using the Sprint network. So they just said, you're part of Sprint. And then Sprint decided they were going to do their own initiative similar to this, and they killed Clear like 2 years ago. But I used them for a long time, and it was nice because when I would travel, let's say I went to CES, I took my home internet with me. I just threw it in my suitcase, and it would... But it was not nearly as expensive as this. At $30, it was almost worth just keeping all the time, even when I wasn't using it. 110 is what I basically pay for my business class cable.
Right. So, but the thing is, where I live, $110 gets you okay internet. Unfortunately, it's not that cheap.
So one of the things that would be interesting is to find out a little bit more details about things. One of the things about Clear that was so detrimental to them is that, at least initially, they heavily implemented bandwidth shaping and stuff like that that made gaming difficult on it, that prioritized packets over others. And so while they had unlimited, they set it up in a way that made it hard to use a massive amount of data. And so that's, if this is actually legitimately unlimited and they're not doing any kind of bandwidth shaping or anything like that, so that streaming isn't difficult, so that playing video games isn't difficult, then this is a good solution for cord cutters and such. If, on the other hand, they are prioritizing streaming packets under web packets, like standard HTTP packets, then that's going to be a problem. And you're not going to get as good a performance when you're doing streaming and stuff like that. If that's the case, then this is not a viable solution for people like us. And that also is why they can go unlimited, because you wouldn't be able to go over a certain amount, or not easily at least.
I agree. This is absolutely would it have issues if Verizon was doing anything funny with the quality of service, making one thing faster and other things slower. They shouldn't be doing that unless somehow you're set up with them and asking for it. But I know places that if they cannot get anything, they can't get a DSL, they can't get a cable modem, they are on Wild Blue satellite internet and paying more than that a month for like 8 gigabits per month. So and they can get a weak Verizon signal, and damn it, put a good antenna on that, get an okay Verizon signal, and get 36 megabits per second, and decent latency instead of the 3 seconds of latency guaranteed added on to whatever you do for the satellite internet. That is a huge deal for lots of people who have no other options.
Yeah, and I mean, what you described is almost exactly why I was using Clear at that time, because I had no other option. And but my issue is just the cost, because I mean, I was getting unlimited at 20 megs. I could stream anything with no issue.
Yeah.
But the cost was like a third of what, and that was 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
I completely agree.
That's my only hang up. I say good on them, but that price doesn't seem very attractive.
Yeah, you do hit another good key there, Matt, with the latency. While that won't affect streaming, because once you get that initial handshake, then the stream will be smooth. It would dramatically affect gaming, which was another reason why Clear was bad for gaming, was the latency. So your latency is usually pretty significant just to start with, assuming you have a good connection with mobile. So that would be another reason not to go with this, for example, if you liked gaming. But yeah, still, again, we're talking about streaming, and if it's streaming you're doing, then this could be a really good solution.
Yep.
And yes, I agree. It's probably way overpriced. We all know that. Verizon will have you pay what the market will allow. They will not make it cheap on purpose. That might have been the downfall of Clear, although I think it's just that they couldn't get a foothold, I guess.
Well, no, when they got rid of Clear, Sprint said they were going to do their own thing. They were going to rebrand it. They were going to do their own Sprint thing. And that's why they killed Clear. But then they just never did their own Sprint thing. I think that is what ended up getting canned. So whatever.
Okay.
I've got 2 Clear modems sitting under my bed if someone wants one.
This, to me, this seems likely to be like an introductory price type system. Get it out there in reasonable quantities, see how well it works, see what kind of strain it puts on systems, get people hooked, and then if it's working out smoothly and well, then they can bring the price down really easily to increase demand. If they jump it out there and they sell it real cheap and everybody goes and buys it, then they might have problems. So it's probably a good approach if it works. And the other thing to consider is that this might be highly targeted towards businesses and professionals. If you think about individuals like realtors and stuff like that, where they spend a lot of time in remote locations, doing like an open house or something where they want to have internet, this is a valid solution for them, and it provides them a way to get internet to a remote location that isn't always the same place, maybe. And that's the other question is, can you take this device with you like you could the Clear modem?
I don't see why you couldn't. It's just a tower box, and I'm sure.
Yeah, obviously they have control over connectivity and stuff like that. They could be limiting where it's allowed to connect and stuff, but that would be a bad move, I would think.
I'd say I'm pretty sure I can test that because I've got that, which is Verizon. So I wonder if it's the same. If it's essentially the same service, or like you said, or are they going to be shaping it in some way different? But
no idea.
Maybe I'll hook up my Fire TV to this later and see what it looks like. All right, rock on. Last up,
we have a story. The Tableau, the guys who made the Tableau box, the Tableau TV, has announced a new box. It's called the Tableau Dual. It has 2 tuners in it, so it is able to record 2 shows at the same time. Also comes with 64 gigabytes of internal storage, which isn't a lot, but it's enough for you to get started, because especially when you consider the other one that had 0 storage attached to it. You had to bring your own. So this is a pretty cool out-of-the-box solution for you. I think it starts at $250 when it comes on sale, and you are able to attach additional USB-style storage to it in order to increase your storage ability. And as we know that this device has many apps for the various different set-top boxes, and you will be able to stream from your Tableau everything you've recorded to whatever device you want, including apparently you can set it up so you can stream to your device that is outside your house, so you can watch your home-based DVR recorded stuff while you're out and about.
Rock on.
Yeah, and just just to make sure that you guys don't get excited outside of the area, you know. Canada and North America only.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Strengths. Sorry.
Yeah, but you know, this is cool to me. I hear people on a regular basis that are talking about cord cutting and don't really want to pay for a big service like Sling or something like that. They really want to save a little bit of money and still get really the core of what they care about, which is often on the local broadcast channels. So, and it's getting harder to find good solutions for something like this. And so the fact that they've updated it, that they're providing a good, viable solution that's got 2 DVRs, this is pretty good. I'm excited to see it come out. I might actually pick one up.
Yeah, this is. I've been considering all these antenna boxes, and this one. I'm so happy that the Tableau has announced this. $250 is a pretty penny to spend, but might be worth it. And so you also have to pay for either monthly, yearly, or lifetime subscriptions to the service as well. So
the key to me with that subscription is how good is their interface and how well is like the guide portion of it and stuff like that.
Right.
I've actually heard good things about Tableau's stuff. So if they have a good usable guide that allows the DVR to work really reliably, then I think you've got a good solution here. And at $150 for lifetime. So yes, it's not cheap up front, but
3 years.
you're talking,
you pay for 3 years for a lifetime subscription. And
yeah, it's $400 and you've got a device.
It's still a lot cheaper than the $4.99 a month, because like $4.99 or $49.99 yearly would be like 10 months.
Right.
So you save 2 months, and then But no, I mean, it's hard shelling out that even when it's only $149. I had my TiVo for like 6 years before I finally said, okay, I'm just going to give you the $100 now so I never have to pay you again. It took me 4 years to be able to go, but I got to pay them $100 in one shot, as opposed to I had like a $3 a month like special plan. But I paid well over that $100, for a long time. So yeah.
Cool.
I'm interested in checking this out. I mean, I don't really need it because I still have a TiVo that it sits there recording 2 shows now. Just This Old House and iZombie, since CW pulled out of Hulu. But other than that, yeah. No, I'm curious. I didn't see the pricing in there. Did you see the pricing?
Yeah, the new box is going to be $250.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I may not be trying this.
You pay. You pay it's a pretty penny up front.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It costs you $400 for a lifetime of service. So you pay $250 for the box, $150 for a lifetime subscription. It's a fair amount of money up front. But again, if that's a good solution for you, then you tack on another $20 for some sort of like antenna and taxes for your local area, whatever that might be, 10% or whatever, and you've got a really solid solution for the rest of your life.
No, that's really going to be. I mean, that I understand the price tag and I understand why it's where it is, but that's going to be a really.
But didn't you pay?
What's that?
Didn't you pay about that for your TiVo?
Well, it may have been that price. I got mine through TiVo through business for like $50. Which is why I had the special forever at like $3 a month, where everybody else is paying $10 a month, right?
Yeah, no wonder you sing the praises of.
But
TiVo.
I mean, that was my first TiVo. I got secondhand. That's why I sing the praises of TiVo, is because of my first TiVo, which I actually was paying for like a normal person. That was before I was in the industry and had a special deal. But yeah, no, but what I was going to say is, even though this may be appealing to a lot of people, the price tag alone would be great. But when you couple that price with the monthly fees, it may be a hard pill to swallow for someone that is not 100% on board.
Hello?
Yep.
Apparently I cut out there for a second.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yep. No, but yeah, so that's all I have to say. And as Jimmy pointed out in the chat, I'm cheap.
Oh, no. Hey, you're not cheap.
But
I'm
so
cheap.
he is.
So here's the thing. In order for me to even consider this, first thing I have to do is find out if I can get any good signal over here where I live, because all my channels are 50 miles away in different directions, and so the first thing I'd have to do is buy an antenna and just plug it in and see if it works. And I'm so cheap I haven't done that yet. So, but I have a lot of trees around me, so I have no
What
idea
you should do is reach out to them and say, "Hey, can I get a review device?"
Yeah, something that's designed for about 50 miles or so. Yeah, should try it. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. So just to compare, if you're comparing it to like the TiVo Romeo, that's $400.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
Now that has 4 tuners and has 1 terabyte of hard drive space
and app capable. So, you can run Hulu, Netflix, all of those apps on it.
Yeah, but you still pay a monthly service fee with them as well. So it's a similar price, isn't it? Pretty comparable prices.
I want to say it's about 10. It's probably about between $7 and $10. So it's more for the monthly.
Right.
So the Tableau's an excellent deal. You just have to.
No, that's what I was saying. It's not bad. I was just saying it may be hard to convince somebody that it's worth the cost if they weren't 100% in to begin with. And that's the same thing with like a TiVo. If like someone's like, well, I want to cut the cord, but I don't kind of want, if they're on the fence, and then you say, well, for $400 you can have this thing forever, and they're just like, that seems kind of expensive. We'll just keep my cable, right?
Right.
But no, I'm interested in checking this thing out. So.
All right. Well, that ends, I believe, our news for the week.
All right. Well, oh no, my browser is like being stupid. So whatever. Okay, so if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we read an article about a new service called Tubi TV. You guys remember that? Tubi.
Or not Tubi?
That is the question.
I guess it is.
But, yeah, so like over the weekend, I got an ad for it on the Roku. You know how the Roku has like on the screensaver, it'll pop up little things that say, "Hey, if you just push the play button, you can watch this now," and it'll automatically take you and download the thing and whatever. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta try that out." And so I was playing with that over the weekend, and I think Matt, you took it upon yourself to try that too, right?
Yeah, I gave it just a quick look at it and see what it's like, and I gotta say it's not bad.
Yeah, and that's why I figured we could take a look, because it is available on pretty much every platform. And I don't like this new interface on the Fire TV drives me crazy because I have no idea what. Okay, there we go.
What do you have selected?
Yeah,
not clearly defined what you actually are have your cursor on.
And while that loads, for those of you that want to try this on the Fire TV, downloading it is kind of complicated in the fact that you can't really search for it through the normal means. I had to do a voice search. I don't like the fact that it forced me to do a voice search. I think it's the first time I've really even used that. But it found it.
I failed. I could not find it. My remote was not doing the voice search, wasn't working.
Yeah,
probably
and
battery.
That is, I've got to say that's probably 100% Amazon, because the app on other platforms was really easy to find. Like on the Roku, and you Matt, you loaded it on Apple or Android TV?
No, I've actually put it on the Roku.
Oh, on the Roku. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we fired it up on the Roku. It was I thought it might be in the new and notable, but it wasn't there. But just a quick search for Tubi, and it came right up out there on one of the top options, and no problem.
Yeah, and I was kind of interested, or I thought it was intriguing that you load into it. There was no branding, no splash screens. It just loads right up here to what's featured. Shows right down here just a little bit of. That's the only way you really know you're on Tubi. But for those of you that aren't familiar or may have missed that, essentially what this is it's a free ad-supported streaming service. So think like Crackle, I guess, or Pluto TV, but Pluto TV is more live. And I gotta say, I went into it without expecting too much. But, you see right there's my queue. I found a couple things that I was like, oh. And not only do they have the Cube, but they have the Cube 2 and Hypercube. So they've got like every movie in the Cube franchise. And Bubba Hotep, one of the greatest movies ever.
Oh my goodness.
As well as some anime stuff that looked interesting. But I don't know how much to say. There's lots of movies. It's
an eccentric selection of movies. It's not some mainstream stuff you're like, oh wow, I'm surprised that's on there. Like Gladiators on here.
Overboard.
Hey, they've got Overboard. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
That's right.
When he kidnaps a woman and convinces her that she's his wife. There's nothing illegal about that.
Return of the Living Dead. It's got a lot of horror.
Stan Helsing was pretty good too, if you guys never watched that.
It's School of Rock. So it's got a decent number of interesting shows. You could definitely turn this on and find something good to watch. It's not like that. It's not like some of these we've come across. I'm gonna say this, although I mean I love them, but it's not like turning on Pluto TV where everything on there is good stuff, but not a lot of wow, that was a great movie, let's watch that one again kind of stuff. So
absolutely.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I probably wouldn't say that about most of these shows. The thing is, there are some gems in here. There are some good shows. Most of them are things that you watched 10 or 15 years ago, like Gladiator, but there are actually, like you said, legitimately good movies amongst the slew of mediocre movies or even bad movies. But there's a lot of movies that, even though they aren't great, are still fun to watch. And
one thing that stuck out to me right off the bat is they've got, as I've got brought up here, they have a menu for leaving soon. So even if you're like not sure what you want to watch, it seems to me that would be the first category to check, because hey, this is gonna be leaving. I may as well, watch something, unless you're looking for something specific. Also, if I can find it, they have a tab not on Netflix.
That's a good tab.
When I saw that, I laughed. I laughed out loud, and I love the fact that tab exists. This is their, hey, we've got it. Netflix doesn't have it. We got it.
Exactly. And you didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah. And
this is interesting to me. So what is the business model here?
It's
advertising.
It's ad supported.
There are ads. There are pre-roll ads. There are ads injected in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. So
how often do you get ads?
Good question. I was not.
I think it depends on the content, because I watched something the other day and I wasn't really paying close attention to it. I know there were ads. I'd say it's, if you've watched anything on Crackle, it's fairly similar, which would be fairly similar to regular TV. So I'd say probably a couple minute break every 15 to 20 minutes, and that would be based on the one thing I watched. Oh, hey, Wayne's World. Who wants to watch Wayne's World or Teen Wolf?
1, okay, but 2, come on.
No. This is Teen Wolf 1.
No, but Wayne's World 2 was what you had
oh,
there.
Was it 2?
But,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Teen Wolf, that was
Teen Wolf 2 is on here, too, because it reminded me that a Jason Bateman took over.
Which, and that was my point. It's, Teen Wolf wasn't a good movie, but it could be fun to watch again. I enjoyed it when I was a kid.
Yeah. No, and so back to this. Yeah, this is not the rush out and subscribe service. But that is the beauty of it, is it's free. Yeah. Because I was using this over the weekend because I was at the point where I just wasn't, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to watch on the other the Prime didn't have anything for me. I'm really getting sick of Netflix since they screwed me over with the ratings, which we'll talk about in Rants and Raves. But and then Hulu, I had already caught up on everything I watch on Hulu. So this weekend I was just kind of digging around in here, and it's really easy to navigate. That's the first thing, is there's not anything to it. If you're familiar with pretty much like the Fire TV or pretty much any streaming service out there, it's you can get around. And then it's as simple as that. You just find what you want, hit play, or add it to your queue. And then, but I did manage to look through every single title, so their selection isn't enormous.
No, but it's not tiny either. It's a medium.
No, it's pretty good. Oh, Fish Called Wanda. I did not see that the other day.
That is a good movie.
But they did a really good job of categorizing things, and they came up with pretty much every category I could think of. I don't really know how much there is to say about it. I mean, what was your experience, Matt? I mean, so far.
First thing I did was I turned on Transformers, because I saw it had Transformers first generation cartoon on there. It's like, oh, okay, we'll turn that on, and I could hear it in the background, but I couldn't see it, and it had said you have to disable your ad blocker. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, because you're watching on the browser.
Because I had it on the browser, and it says you have to disable the ad browser for this site. It's like, okay, so I disabled the ad blocker for this site. Watched a little bit. Great. Couldn't see any. At that time I did not see any ads, which was interesting. But then we threw it on the Roku, and we decided to go ahead and turn on another classic movie, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. My God, that movie's so bad, so old. And we threw the. So first thing it did right away is 3 ads, and it shows you 1 of 3 ads, 2 of 3 ads, 3 of 3 ads. Watch the movie for a little while, no ads for a little while. Went ahead and jumped forward just to see. I wanted to see if it. Sometimes you get a C on the bar where it's going to put your ads. It does not show you where it's going to put the ads. But after I fast forwarded for a little while and I stopped fast forwarding, then came in the ads. So either it does an ad whenever you pause or whenever you fast forward or something like that, or it is just interjected at certain times, and I noticed that I jumped over the time, so it pushed the ad in. I need to know more often about how often they are. If they're right in the middle of a bad scene, or in between, if they happen to hit them in between scenes. So
yeah, and
I'd be interested in to know.
Yeah, and I know, like with Crackle, it's not always in the best spot, but it usually, when it comes back like a couple seconds before where it stops, so that you kind of. So it's not as like in the middle of a sentence, and then you're like, crap, what was she saying like 5 minutes ago when the commercials started? Right. But yeah, like you said, it's got commercials, but I didn't really notice them. I mean, I've been watching a lot of stuff on FX and AMC's streaming thing, which is bad with commercials, and I'd say it's probably better than that.
Is it like CBS streaming where you've got a commercial every 8 minutes that's a minute and a half long of the same commercials?
I wouldn't say it was that bad.
That's the bar for me. It was like CBS is.
Yeah, and Jimmy asks,
torturous watching TV that way.
Yeah, there's some guy in the chat room named Jimmy was asking if there was any word on whether or not they're going to offer a commercial-free service. I don't know. At this point, I don't think that's in the works, because service is fairly new. And
doesn't look like it at this time.
No. I'd say that would probably end up depending on how well the service is received. If people flock to it and there's a demand, we hope. But yeah, until then, I don't think that's in the cards.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
it's interesting. They got another $20 million in funding earlier this month. So
yeah, that was the article that we talked about.
Doing really good.
So, Clyde, I got a new movie for your movie night. Cheerleader Ninjas.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the problem was there was a couple things that I saw on here, and I was like, yes, we could do these for the movie. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, commercials. Can't use this platform. Honestly, Jimmy, I think they were HD, but I wasn't really paying attention. So, if it was SD, it was really good SD.
Yeah. You know what? I dare you, and most viewers out there that are watching their show at a normal distance away from their TV. So by that I mean, however wide your TV is, be twice as far away. Watch a movie on a streaming service that offers it both in HD and SD, and really watch it and see if you can really tell a difference, and or you even forget that you're watching SD instead of HD.
So, I would challenge you on that challenge.
Sure.
I think it depends on the content.
Yeah, I've rented SD movies on various streaming services, and not told anybody that it's not HD, and they say, "Oh, the picture on this is amazing! It's wonderful." It's like, okay.
Well, I watched. So my daughter's reading Harry Potter. So as she finishes the books, we watch the movies, and I had bought the movies in DVD when they came out, and so we watched the first one on DVD, and it drove me crazy. Like.
Really, the DVD quality was not enough for you.
The DVD quality was not enough. It drove me crazy. There were distinct quality issues that I noticed. So then we, for the next movie, I don't remember if it was the second or the third one I bought it. But so I've just been buying them on HD on Amazon since then, even though I've got the DVD versions, because it is distinctly noticeable. I'm on a 55-inch 4K TV from about 10 feet away, 12 feet away or so.
Okay.
I haven't measured the distance, but so I am sitting in appropriate viewing distance. I'm not sitting like 5 feet away from my 55-inch TV or something. And I think it's definitely noticeable. Now, it does depend on the content. It's much more pronounced in shows like Harry Potter, where a lot of the content is very dark. Because that's one of the places where you lose a lot of detail on lower resolution images is in darkness and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
So it's going to depend on your content. Your mileage may vary, and the quality of the TV that you actually have. But on my TV and for the specific things, Harry Potter, it was definitely noticeable, and watching it on Blu-ray was a much more comfortable and enjoyable experience, or rather on 1080p streaming.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, so I mean, all in all, the service, I'll give it a thumbs up for what it is. You know, I'll put it there on my list with Crackle as one that I enjoy, but I forget to use.
We need to make a list of these free services that you need to make sure when that you know are there. And so this should be right on there, right next to Crackle and right next to Pluto TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Jimmy says he always watches the TV with a monocle. That way, when he watches, he can watch an HD and SD at the same time.
I take Fitz's statement about, do you need glasses, SDHD challenge. I just imagine like going to the eye doctor 20 years from now, and they're like playing Barney on TV or something like that. You know, whatever 10 years from now's Barney is for kids, and they're like, okay, does Barney look clear or does he look fuzzy? And that's how they'll do like glasses evaluations instead of the alphabet.
When I was in high school and I finally went to the optometrist to see if I needed glasses, they were asking me the question. It's like, you're asking me, this is the way I've seen for the last 15 years. How do I know if that's better or not? This is normal. This is the way it's supposed to look, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, unless you guys got anything else to add to that, should we move on to rants and raves and then get off the airwaves?
Sure, we can do that.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, who wants to go? Someone got something? Otherwise, okay.
I'll go. Mine's quick and easy. Harry Potter. You know, I talked about it a little bit. We've been rereading the books. So, I would strongly encourage, if you haven't read Harry Potter, the books are excellent. They are really good. Read the books. Then once you've read the books, watch the movies, because the movies are all enjoyable too. However, the movies are not anywhere near as good as the books, and they are a good supplement to the books, though. It's enjoyable to watch the movies and see how somebody interpreted the books and stuff, but so much is left out in the books by necessity. I mean, these are the kinds of books that they could have turned into TV shows like Game of Thrones, where you did a 13 or 20 episode season for every book, and
maybe they will.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a good approach. But the books are really great. The movies are actually all very enjoyable. The one thing I'm finding that's a little bit challenging with them, though, is the books were written and released about 1 year apart, starting with Harry Potter at about 11 years old. And the first book was reasonably appropriate for an 11-year-old. And the second for a 12-year-old, and the third for a 13-year-old. They definitely get noticeably darker, and that's my daughter's. She's still doing okay with it, but like my younger daughter, my 4-year-old, she would come in and she'd like sit down and watch the show and be like, "Oh, this is good, and I'm enjoying it." She walked in on number 4 and she ran out of the room and said, "Come tell me when the scary parts are over." So it's like, yeah, well, okay, here's your tablet. Sit down here and relax, and we'll come tell you when it's no longer scary, which was the end of the movie. So
the credits.
Yeah, the credits. So, you know, they're good books. They're enjoyable. They might be a little dark and a little scary, especially towards the latter years. It follows him through school from ages 11 through like 18 or something like that. So,
all right. What about you, Matt?
Well, for me, I don't have much as far as a rant or a rave. I've been dealing with my stuff at work. It's been keeping me, but I still have that TV issue I mentioned last week that's been going on. So I think what I'm going to rave about is the thing that has been sucking up all my spare time when I'm not at work, or I'm not sleeping, or I'm not, having some family time. When I have spare time, I'm playing Zelda still. That game is so good. Oh, find your friend, find somebody with a Wii U, get a copy, get a Switch, and get a copy there. an amazing game. I am now at a point of the game where I could go ahead and try to finish the final castle, but I want to go ahead and go around and gather a bunch of memories, basically, that I'm missing at this point.
Yeah.
Do you know if when you finish the game it ends, or?
It's a good question. If you can keep playing after you finish, but I don't see why you couldn't load a save game before the end. So
a lot of the Skyrim and some of the other I don't even know what the original Daggerfall or Morrowind type books, Elder Scrolls, that's what they are. The Elder Scrolls series, for example, those open world games, after like the fourth or fifth one or something, they started letting you keep playing after you beat the game. It just continued to be open world. And so I'd be curious to find out if that's the case with this one.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing game, and I really would everybody who likes Zelda or any of those games at all, pick it up and play the starting area, just basically the first 4 little dungeons.
So does Zelda start out like Rust?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Rust?
I never played Rust.
You start out as just like naked and alone. And there's like people with weapons coming to kill you.
Practically naked, and you are alone, but you meet people and they help you out. But and you are literally starting with almost nothing and working your way.
So it is, yeah, a lot like that Rust game. Cool.
I honestly was seriously tempted to pick up a Nintendo Switch just to be able to play this game. The price tag has kept me away from it, but. It is really tempting.
Yeah, that was the thing. When it was like $250 to $300, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll consider it. I don't need it. And then once I found out, oh no, it's going to cost me at least $500 to $600 just to. I was like, nope.
It'll be $370 for you to play the game. That's the minimum on a Switch, because you have to buy the Switch and you have to buy the game. So. And you'll likely want more. So
yeah,
so that was like $400 investment.
I've got a PlayStation 2 and a 360 sitting here that I haven't touched in years, and my
Xbox One is a glorified Blu-ray player right now for like the last 6 months almost. So
yeah, I asked my kids, testing the waters back before their birthday, and they were just like. Meh. I was like, oh, okay. That's a glowing endorsement. I'm going to rush out and buy it. So
yeah, spend $300 on a no.
Yeah. So, nah, rock on. Earlier I said I was going to rant about something.
Yeah.
Matt, do you remember what that was?
Oh, no, not at all.
Crap. I don't know. I got so many things this week, but no, I think, what was it, the Fire TV interface? Maybe
it was the search. No,
I don't know.
It wasn't.
Yeah, whatever.
He's so angry he can't remember.
Well, we'll put it this way. We'll do go for the ongoing saga of internet in my studio. So, CenturyLink came back around and said, "Oh no, we can give you the 40 megs you wanted. We can do because Because the thing that told me no was talking DSL, where the 42 gigabit is fiber. So it's like, you're sure that fiber is available in that neighborhood? Oh yeah. And so I'm scheduled for my install tomorrow.
Yay!
2 to 6 window. All right. And then I was looking at it today, and it says. Looking at company, it says your installation date is Thursday, June 1st, 2017, between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Right.
If we can do it that day.
Oh.
Otherwise, we'll give you a call to reschedule.
Oh.
Nothing like good customer service.
And it's like, oh, yeah. We'll put you here, but we don't know if we're going to make it. That's all. Yeah. So we'll see if I'm still here next week or what. So
well, Yeah, I'm just curious. You're gonna get 40 down. What are you gonna get up?
I was paying the $5 extra to get like 20 up. So
Oh, that's not bad.
yeah, 15 to 20 up. I think it was. Yeah, because otherwise it was going to be 10, but then there was an option to get more up. So, and I said,
That's what you need.
I said absolutely. I'll pay $5, an extra $5 to get it up.
Yeah. And not on that note.
And on that note, hey, thank you for hanging out. We will wrap this up. We will be back next week, as we are every Wednesday night on Diamond Club TV, 9 p.m. Central, Channel 1. In the meantime, you check us out over on Yahoo, not Yahoo, on YouTube. Just search for the VOD Squad.
You can only search us on Yahoo.
You can't search us on the Fire TV. I don't know, but just do a search for us on YouTube. We're still looking for subscribers so that we can get that vanity URL, make it a lot easier. All videos are up to date and ready for viewing and for thumbs. Give us all the thumbs. These, not these. These, not these.
And subscribe.
These,
subscribe
not
buttons.
these.
Subscribe buttons.
And then you do the
buttons.
dance. That's the YouTube dance, right? I guess
squad.geocities.com is not the correct address.
Actually, I actually was talking about that the other day. I was looking to see if I could still get a GeoCities, because that would be totally worth it. Do Netscape at geocities.com. All right. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. All of you in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out. We are done.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
I'm too late.